sometimes people look like they know a lot, but in reality they don't know. They just know a few things, and they make enough of a stink about them that it makes it seem as if they know more than everybody else. Similar to those Reshaim, those Israelites, these idiots, Goyim, that they're not idiots because they're Goyim, because there are many smart Goyim, but they happen to be one of the idiots among the nations instead of the righteous among the nations. Now I know these morons from years ago. I remember when I lived in New York, you always had one of these Amaleks in the middle of the street wearing something that he bought from a costume store, and he's yelling and screaming the New Testament, but he's pretending as if he's reading the Ten Commandments from Mount Sinai, and he's reading it in English because none of them know Hebrew, and yelling at everybody that they're the righteous, they're the original Jews, they're the ones, and the Jews of today are fakers, and so on and so forth. Now, of course, at that time that I saw them initially, I didn't know anything about Judaism, so there's not much to argue here. I just knew they're idiots because just the way they behave. Today, Baruch Hashem, after Baruch Hashem, I've had enough time to learn enough that they're morons. Why are they morons? Because their entire premise of everything in regards to being an Israelite and the original Hebrews and they're black and all this racism, all of that can be crushed in literally just a few sentences. There's no need for a debate. I would never have a debate with one of these people because, again, they're violent people, both verbally and otherwise. And even more so, they're simply mental midgets because they don't even know what they don't know. First and foremost, your religion of Christianity, and it is your religion because you're reading the New Testament. Anyone that reads and follows the New Testament is a Christian. There's no question about that. God did not give the New Testament to Am Yisrael at Mount Sinai. New Testament did not exist. Okay, so anyone that reads New Testament, you are a Christian. Rule number one. Number two, you are reading, let's say you say, let's say if I take aside and I don't read the Jesus part, the Matthew and the Luke and the Stephen and the Joes, whatever it is in there, all these idol worshippers, let's say I discount them, I'm reading from the Old Testament, like they pretend like they do. I'm reading from the Old Testament, the real Word of God. Okay, buddy, let's see you read. Read it to me. Read me the first verse. In the beginning, hold on a second. I said read it in the beginning. Well, no. Read it. In the beginning. I'm reading in the beginning. It's not in the beginning. Where does it say in the beginning? Well, it says right there. No, you're reading the New Testament in English. It says Bereshit bara Elokim et hashamayim ve'et haaretz. It's in Hebrew. It's not in English. Your translation is a manipulation. Don't tell me that you that came 1,500 years after Am Yisrael received the Torah, you're going to come to my house, to my religion, to my Torah, and tell me what it says when you don't even know the language, for heaven's sake. So that's argument number two, the end. Now, of course, if you want to deal with the whole race card, this is what makes them stupid. The first two makes them ignorant. The third one is what makes them stupid. Why? They claim to be the original Jews because the original Jews, according to morons, were black. Now, all you need to do is read the Torah to know there could never be a possibility that the original Jews were black. Why? Where did the Jews start from? They're going to tell you all types of mumbo-jumbos depending on who the yeller is. But the truth is, where did Am Yisrael start from? Avraham Avinu. So where do we learn about Avraham for the first time? Where? They're going to tell you, we learn about him in Parashat Lech Lecha. No, it's not Lech Lecha, it's Lech Lecha, and it's not that. We learned the first time about Avraham at the end of Parashat Noach. Noach, ish tzadik tamim bedorotav. Noach. That's the parasha. At the end of Parashat Noach, we learn about the Tower of Babel. The Tower of Babel, actually one of the people that was part of the Tower of Babel, one of the wicked people, was Avraham's father, Terach. Okay? Now, this is where everything was. Babel had a place in it called Ur Kasdim. That's where Avraham was thrown into the fire by Nimrod. Where is Babel? That's Babylon. That's Iraq. Iraq, if you want to see it in English. It's, go find me one African American black guy in Iraq. Find one. You're not going to find. Now, I love black people. I have plenty of black students and black friends. But don't tell me that the color of your skin means that you're righteous or you're wicked, and even make it to seem that if I'm not the same color as you, therefore I'm not good. This is moronic. Even more so when your whole testament is literally something you can collapse in a matter of a few minutes because you don't even know your own history. You don't even know your own history. You're going to tell me they came from black people? Where did Avraham come from? He came from Iraq. This is where Avraham came from. And after that, Avraham, where does it say this? It says it in the Tower of Babel, but even more it says it in the verses themselves, where it says, ויחי תרח 70 שנה ויולד את אברהם את נחור ואת הרן. ואלה תולדות תרח, תרח הוליד את אברהם, את נחור ואת הרן. והרן הוליד את לוט. וימת הרן על פני תרח, אביו, בארץ מולדתו באור כסדים. English. When Terach had lived 7 years, he begot Avram, Nachor, and Haran. Now these are the chronicles of Terach. Terach begot Avram, Nachor, and Haran. And Haran begot Lot. And Haran died in the lifetime of Terach, his father, in his native land, in Ur Kasdim. Where's Ur Kasdim? Go look on Wikipedia. It's in Iraq. Iraq. Saddam Hussein, former leader. That's where Iraq is. Now, if you want to know further, where did they go after? ויקח תרח את אברהם בנו ואת לוט בן הרן בן בנו ואת שרי כלתו אשת אברהם בנו ויצאו איתם מאור כסדים ללכת ארצה כנען ויבואו עד חרן וישבו שם. Where's Haran? Terach took his son Avram and Lot, the son of Haran, his grandson, and his daughter-in-law Sarai, that ends up being Sarah later on, the wife of Avram, his son. They departed with them from Ur Kasdim to go to the land of Canaan. They arrived in Haran and they settled there. Where's Haran? Where is it? Turkey. Turkey. You know Turkey? Thanksgiving Turkey? There's a country called Turkey before there was Thanksgiving Turkey. That's where Haran is. Go find me a black person that lives in Turkey.